right, it is time for NBA, man. I'm so excited to talk NBA. I got too cute yesterday adding the Rockets first quarter, but the Lakers -5. This last two Lakers wins were very easy. I know the Rockets came on strong late, but just I was not concerned ever. Lakers are so strong. Now we get to talk Game 7, Raptors, Celtics, but let's close on that. Let's open with the Nuggets, Clippers, and let's bring in our man, our NBA expert, Dutch boy fresh in the house. Dutch, what up, man?
My man, Jimmy, C-Mac, all the little baggers. Salute to y'all, man.
What's happening? What's happening, man? Very, very exciting action here when we get to talk Celtics, Raptors. It's all I want to talk about, but let's talk Nuggets, Clippers, and get through that spot here and decide whether we want to make a move. First off, let's talk about the market. It's sitting at 8, and this total opened up at 217. It's down to 215.5 at some books. Clippers leading the series 3-1 and looking very strong. This Nuggets team had the slowest pace of the teams in the 8 seeding games in the bubble at 97.5 possessions a game. It's gotten even slower in the playoffs at 94.2 possessions a game, although in this series, because of the Clippers being a little faster paced, not nearly like they were pre-COVID. They're a 100 possessions a game team in the 8 seeding games and in the playoffs. But the series is at 96.63. And Leonard, God, he's just so dominant, averaging 29.2 points per game in the postseason. But it's all about the Clippers' defense on Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray just is not able to do anything against whether it be Beverly, George, or Leonard. They're just shutting him down. 6 for 15 shooting. You can sort of tell even with his body language. He's frustrated. The Nuggets come in shooting 39.7% from the field. Now, they were down 3-1 against the Jazz, but this just seems like a different animal. Let's start with Dutch Boy Fresh. Nuggets, Clippers, is there an angle or a side that you're interested in?
Yes, sir. My man, to follow up on what you said with Murray, in the 3 losses, he's averaging 14 points a game. In the 1 win, he had 27. So he's definitely having a tough time out there. I actually locked in under 217. The last 5 for the Nuggets have been under. So I like that look right there. Personally, off pretty much everything you said, I mean, they're shooting 39% in the series. I think the Clippers are one of the better defensive teams in the league. They seem to be locking down a little bit more. Last game was probably their best defensive game they played in recent history. I really like the matchups, what they put out with Murray, because simply they only have one playmaker, and he's it. Michael Porter Jr. can get his, but he's not really making anyone else better. And then I don't even know if he's going to – I'm sure he'll play because they need him. But after running his mouth like he did, he probably shouldn't get no run. But I'm sure he'll play. But I didn't like those comments. I'll tell you that right now. So I'm on the Clippers -8 full game and under 217. And then I seen that drop, like you said, 1.5. So I'm happy I jumped on it when I did. A couple things to follow up. Paul George is averaging 24 points a game in the first 3 games of the series. Obviously, he had kind of what we've seen from Paul George in the first series. He had a rough first series with the Mavs, so he kind of went back to that, scoring 10 points. I expect him to have a better game. Also with Kawhi, Kawhi's been doing work. He has 27 a game in his 3 games as well. And the 1 game that they lost, he had 13 points, shooting 4-17 from the field. I don't see that happening again with Kawhi. Kind of just see everything evening out like it is. And I am on the Clippers -8 and under 217.
So you did move on the Clippers -8.
I did. And I had the Nuggets, me and you both had them +8 last game. But I wanted to take them first half. But to me, the Clippers are just so much better than the Nuggets. And I think at any time they can just put them away. So I'm going to go full game instead of first half. I'm not mad at -4 first half as well. But the Clippers, from what I've seen, are just better. The Nuggets don't have enough playmakers. And like I said, they could throw 3-4 different cats at Murray. And I mean, he's averaging 14 a game. So we'll see. But I did lock in the 8. I'm not in love with it because I don't really take -8s too much. I really don't really go over 6. But from what I've seen, the Nuggets shouldn't even be on the court with the Clippers when the Clippers are playing Clipper basketball. You know, I got to ride with Doc, Kawhi, PG, and Beverly's loud ass.
They just look dominant. They look so dominant.
They really do.
C-Mac, Dutch making moves on the under, got it at 217. Nice work there. And Clippers -8. C-Mac, what's your move here? Nuggets Clippers.
I really don't want anything to do with this game. I had the Nuggets. I have a lean to the under, and I might pull the trigger. I'm not going to take the 8. That's just too much. Even though I think the Clippers take care of business tonight.
You were on the Nuggets last game, right?
Yeah, I had Nuggets 8 last game.
Sure.
I just I'm not liking the Nuggets. I mean, looks like they want to go home. I mean, are they getting anything? Porter, threw up a goose egg in the second half.
And then he threw his whole team under the bus. Well, you know.
Yeah. And Murray, like you said, Murray goes, Nuggets go. He's got to score 25 or 30 for them to be in the ball game. So I might take the under here, but it looks like it's already getting hammered. So I'm leaning that way.
A lot of guys liking Clippers. Now, a lot of cappers in our chat hesitant, thinking the Clippers might come out a little sleepy. Because I could understand moving on that 4 first half, but the 3-1 lead is one that always scares me in best of 7 series.
2-2 first halves. So, I mean, when I looked into it, but the last three games, the Nuggets have actually outscored them 57-53 in the first half. So that's what took me off the 4. I actually had the -4 circle when I was looking into that. And then I just think that the Clippers at any time, even last game, it was pretty close, and then also or game before, it was a pretty close game, and then the Clippers just flipped the switch, and they didn't cover, but it was right there. It was pretty much any time that they really want to, they could flip that switch and just lock them down. And I see them winning by 10 points. Anything can happen, of course, at the end, but I definitely think the Clips -8 has to be the look here.
Huh. Interesting. Now, from a player prop perspective, the one Nugget who can be counted on, it seems, game in and game out, is Nikola Jokic. His point prop is at 24.5 points, assists, and rebounds at 42.5. And it's -120 on each side here, Bet365. Dutch, you mentioned that you were interested in the Paul George. He was in foul trouble all throughout the last game. Right. Paul George is at 23.5. So that's a pick 'em either side. The only props that are really heavily juiced in any direction is Kawhi Leonard under 30.5. It's huge, -145 to the under. Jeremy Grant over 11.5. Gary Harris over 9.5, both juiced to the over. Marcus Morris 11.5, juiced to the over, and Zubac has been good, over 9.5, juiced heavily to the over. Paul George 23.5. Is that something you'd be interested in?
Like I said, the first 3 is average 24, so that's right there. Honestly, I'd probably stay away from that. I would like it a little bit lower, but I think they know that Paul George is probably going to have a good game, so that's why it's up there. That's a little too close for me, to be honest with you. I would prefer like maybe 21, 22.
I feel like Jokic is the only spot on the floor.
Yeah, they can't guard him. They have nobody to. I mean, he's got his every game, I believe, except for game 1.
What do you think, C-Mac? Any player props screaming at you?
I don't really like anything here. Like I've always said, I'm not a huge prop guy. Yeah, the George I don't like. The only one is a joke. It's 24.5, -110. I mean, Jamal Murray, like we talked about, he's got to have a game. It's +110, 23.5. If anyone's got any
what's Porter's? Is he gonna surprise us all with after running his mouth and come out and just show out, or is he gonna be on riding the pine?
He's at 12.5, juice to the under.
I like that. I think a little more than the Paul George one, but I like Paul George too. I just think when you look at Denver, they don't have anybody. They really need Michael Porter to do his thing.
Yeah, he needs to be playing like Michael Jordan.
Well, Ado says Jokic last match was 23.5. Bookmakers have adjusted 24.5 since he covered that over easily last match. Yes, in Jokic's last 3 games, he's gone 26, 32, and 26. And ski profit with Jokic rebounds. Let's see what Jokic rebounds is. 10.5.
He's going to score and get his boards, I'm sure.
Yeah, points and rebounds. Jokic is at 35.5 and 35.5. So he went 26 and 11, 32 and 12, 26 and 18.
Yeah.
In the last 3 games.
So he's going to get that. It's high, but, I mean, he'll get it.
Yeah. All right. There's one thing I can count on, I think. Kawhi stepping up, but I don't take props at that number, and I can understand why it's due so heavily to the under. And I can trust Jokic stepping up here tonight. Ski Profit taking the over 10.5 rebounds for Jokic. I'm going to take over points and rebounds for Jokic. Over points and rebounds. And I'm getting points and rebounds 35.5 for Jokic. 35.5. And that will be my only look on this game. All right. Let's roll. This R, I thought about you, man. I thought about you and Black Rogue when the Phillies fell apart. Nice work. Nice work. All right. Let's get to – and DJ Green says, what's Kawhi's rebounds? Kawhi's rebounds. Fun having Ski Profit here in the chat with us.
Shout out to my man Ski.
Kawhi's rebounds are 8.5, juiced heavily to the over. Not too heavily. Minus 130 to minus 110. All right. Let's roll. Robert Allen says Jokic has to have a great game, and Murray has to score 25+ in order for the Nuggets to cover. So if you like the Nuggets to cover, then you should like their props. All right.
Yeah.